And we have returned. Not much has happened. Lily just got some tea. So we are off to the Black Marsh and the Hole. Whoops. Well. Not bad, not bad. Let's get cracking. Again, not like my ultimate favorite. Like anything. Oh yeah. Drop the keys for the Amrune. Um, less mobs, less density. Kind of like rough in regards to like rune finding or item finding, but it's the next hour's worth of terror zone, so we make do with what we got. Um, Still, I say like anything can happen. Um, you saw how fortunate and lucky and silly the drops were just from the other terror zone. So it's just you. Oh, all right. I sure can. Look at that. Still not a Geeds. Why, Geeds? Why do you hate me? Ooh, okay. You know, this is what it's all about. Just volume, volume. It, you know, it's the same as what in the world. Um, it was a parable. It was a saying. It was something or other. You know, the you know the most successful farmer. Is the one that you know, sends out the bajillion seeds because sending out a bajillion seeds, something's gonna take, and you're gonna get a crop, and you're gonna have production of wow, holy moly, you're gonna have production of material. So the don't limit yourself to like tier room. Yeesh. Well, it's orange flavor text, so it's orange flavor text. Um, so the whole goal is to just seed the entire area and see what takes. So if you do that, you're gonna succeed. Um, if you only think about seeding in like one area because it's quote unquote the most like fertile, um, quote unquote best area, you're setting yourself up for failure because it's just it's too shallow, it's too limited, it's too little. So you cast a wide net, um, and you hope for the best because like obviously I think I have like 40 tier runes. I don't need another tier rune for the rest of my Diablo days. But I'm gonna pick them up anyways because I can either get ambitious and start leveling them up to other runes, or I can just utilize them for other purposes. So it's you let it rip. All right, we're gonna go back to this. We're gonna hijack these. That one, oh boy. But yeah, just one mob away from the Zod rune. Not that I have any idea why I want a Zod rune. Just to check it off the list. Um, there is one recipe that I think requires it or requests it, and it would be fun to make it just to make it because it's why not? It's part of the game. It's part of the fun. So I'm unfortunately more into magic find. So of course I'm going to be looking for ist runes. I'm going to be trying to get as many of those as I humanly can because I never want to use them because as soon as you start using them they go away and it's depressing. So um, it would again. It's all about preference. Um, it would be nice to have like one character, be it either the barbarian or the Javazan or the Bozan, completely tricked out. Like, with yeah, why don't we do this? Um, with ist runes inserted in like the Shaco, or the breastplate of like the you really wouldn't do it in Enigma. You wouldn't really, because you can't. I guess you could do it in like Scold or Ire. You could have like the massive magic find, but you bury your DPS that way. You literally just smash it to like nothing. But if you're magic finding, I guess you're not on a timetable, so you find your stuff when you find your stuff. Eh, who knows? I don't know. I haven't thought that far because that seems like a lot of mental processing. Right now, it's just the cruise control of like pressing the right mouse button and just blazing through everything. Kind of like driving. Kind of just like being in the car. You're in cruise control. You know, all you're doing is paying attention to the stuff on the side of the road, and hopefully the cars in front of you. That's kind of important too. Or the cars to the side of you, cars in front of you, behind you, everywhere. Yeah, it's all important. Um, but you just have the luxury of just kind of like going. So I heard keys.
I am overburdened.
I know you are. It's okay. We'll allow it.
I can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore.
You sure about that?
I can't carry anymore.
Okay. But yeah, it's so much fun to see. It's so much fun to just, work through stuff. And then it's also great to change it up.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
It's almost interesting, like it's to think about it in another perspective. So, um, I have found a dozen foul runes, and where's that on the old list? Where's foul? Foul. Um, okay, that's right. That makes sense. So foul is number 19. Ist is number 24. But I found Gulvex. Okay. So Cham and Zod are the ones that I have not found. So number 33, number 32. I've found a Ja, I found a Burr, I've either found a Sir or I leveled up to a Sir. Low I found, okay, Home I found. Right. So it's interesting. It really changes when you get up into like Gull, Vex, Ist. Mal I've found. I've got a bunch of Okay, all right. That kind of makes sense. I thought my brain was braining, and I thought for some reason Foul was higher than Ist. And I'm like, oh, I've found like so many, Foul runes. I haven't found an Ist rune in forever. Well, they're right, because Ist is higher than Foul. So, absolutely, you would find more Foul than Ist, Mike. Ta-da! Problem solved. Question solved. Mystery solved. Wasn't a mystery to anybody else but me. Wasn't even really a mystery. It was just how my brain decided to decipher the information. So, It's always interesting. Interpretation, hindsight, you know, recollection, all of that. It's all fascinating because sometimes it's right on the money, sometimes it's way off in left field. So, that's it. Okay.
I can't carry anymore. I can't
Hmm.
carry anymore. I am overburdened.
And I mean, I'm sure, I'm positive that a lot of individuals would like actually like skip these mobs because they're not interested. They're only interested in like taking on like the elite mobs because of the chance of like item drops. But it's like, you know, that's cool, but like every mob has a chance to drop something. So why not exponentially increase your chances by literally going through everything? Oof, awful. Um, Cast Fisher, 7 to elemental skills. 10% attack speed, faster cast rate, intense damage, crushing blow. Holy mackerel. You know what? Just because I don't think I've ever dropped that. Oof. I gotta find a spot for it, huh? Oh my gosh. There we go. That's something. We're going to get that over to our druid just because why not? 7 to elemental skills. Woof. Fisher, volcano, everything just powerhoused. Ugh. Insulting. Not insulting. That's not right. It's just too many. Too many. No needed. Um, Sorry, still trying to think of that. 7 to elements. I mean, you literally are in the stratosphere with damage from that. But it's spirit is for skills, so you're still netting 3
I can't carry anymore.
positive. Okay. Wow,
I am overburdened. I
what
can't
a
carry anymore.
interesting piece of equipment. I wonder, I don't know. I wonder if that's best in the slot for like an elemental druid, or even if an elemental druid. I mean, yeah, because NATO's. So then you have like a 5 NATO helmet that's plus 13 to that. Your Enigma is plus 2. Holy moly, you are just beefcake, huh? And then you get like a caster amulet. You get, you know, oof. You're having some fun with that, let me tell you. You're tornadoing the living daylights out of everything. It's just, oh, Monarch. I don't really want to socket anything anymore. We're good for now.
I can't carry
Although I do
anymore.
think I have a couple available. Yeah, why not? We'll take that for another spirit shield. It would just look hilarious. Just this druid carrying this massive maul and just obliterating stuff with this, hurricanes like flying out everywhere. So Do you ever hit anything with that mallet? Nah, no. Just for show, just for looks. Ugh, 2 out of 3. No, 1 out of 3. 33%. Sounds like my Dungeons and Dragons dice rolling skills. Alright, you need a 10. 9. You need a 12. 11. You need a 2. 1. Okay. Well, this adventure went way different than we expected.
I can't carry anymore.
Sir, as intelligent as your character is, he goes to investigate the corpse on the edge of the bridge. Your character trips over nothing, falls into the river, and is now being swept into the ocean. What do you do? Swim. All right, we're going to need a dexterity check. What do I need to get? 12. 1. Now your character drowns. Here's a new character sheet. Oh, okay. Level 3. No, sir, because of your poor rolling skills, you're starting at level 1. Okay, I'm going to attack this sewer rat. Sewer rat jumps, bites you on the neck. Here's a new character sheet. Okay. That would be the way of the D&D. Okay, so we got all this. That's good. Good, good, good. Let's zip on over to... Where would it be? Oh, right here? Nope. Where is the hole? How interesting. This is Dark Woods. Okay. Oh, okay. Got it. Yep. Okay. Yeah. I can see that happening in Diablo 2 also, where this item find is a rolling scale, and those dice just keep blundering. I mean, we've seen it a couple times where like there's been like a grand charm or like a elite grand charm coming out of it. So definitely, it's got its pros. And it just has equal cons. So luckily, it's nothing negative. Let's be hilarious. You go down to like 1 hit point because you failed the war cry. Yeah, you hurt your vocal cords. There's a penalty on your what's it called? There's a penalty on your war cries. You can't war cry for the next 5 minutes. Barbarian, you should have done your vocal warm-ups beforehand. You should have done your trills and your arpeggios. Oh, that's amazing. Why not? Why not?
I can't carry anymore.
Silly goose. And that's actually another reason why I enjoy playing online so much, because it's, again, we're going back to the fact that it's untainted, it's uncorruptible, it's kind of pure. It's just a way to, like, whatever monsters drop is what monsters drop. And, it's exciting when anything drops because it's, something different, it's something individualized. So I wish trade chat and trade was a little bit more friendly. But since it always seems like it's something else, I just stay away from it because I just stay away from it. I don't need that kind of nothingness in my life. So Oh, okay, okay. I really, is that Hussars? It is Hussars. Okay. I'm pretty sure I actually need that. I mean, I don't. I don't actually need anything, but no. What character would I actually use it on? And what's the set bonus for Hussars?
I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
Yeah, I can always get another Monarch. Let's just take Hussars for the time being. That way, whenever I build another character, let's just take a look. Let's take a look, shall we? Shall we, shall we, shall we? Alrighty. Survey says. Survey says. Hussars. Hussars defense. Wearing item is 0.25 defense per level. Wearing the item is 0.25 defense per level. Wearing two items, 10% attack rating. So, okay. Faster run walk. Yeah, I mean, it would be worth it for, a new, um, like a new starting character, just for something to do. So, yeah, keep it for now, and right back to it. So, we can find a spot for that too. Everything's negotiable. Nope. Get this too.
Okay.
Howdy, Deckard. What's going on, buddy? Do I have... Look at that, right there. We got a spot for it. Oh, no, I was wrong. That is not what I thought it was. Okay. Well, should have kept the Monarch. Arm of King Leoric. 2 to summoning Necro, 2 to poison and bone skills, 10% faster cast rate, raised skeletons, terror, raised skeletons, skeletal mastery. Wow. Okay. What does that come out with? What are the actual, like, Arm of King Leoric? Alright, survey says... Huh. Is there no... Is there no variables? Everything is... It's automatic? 2 to terror. 3 to skeleton mastery. 3 to raise skeletons. Holy mackerel. Okay. So much for the variables. It just rolls disgusting. Okay. Who knew? We're definitely keeping that for one of our boys. So that's probably going to Crowley. Mr. Crowley. I think I left the Mr. off. I think I just call him Crowley. But he's in reference to Ozzy Osbourne. Well, Ozzy Osbourne referencing Mr. Crowley, who was a real person, studied black magic. Weird. Don't recommend it. Alrighty, back to the Black Marsh we go. And just one mob away from the rune that we want. Alright. Yeah. You guys go away. I hear you.
I can't carry anymore.
Sure you can.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
A lot of dirks and daggers fell at that because I could hear them clink. Okay. Here we go.
I am overburdened.
Man. Bad rolls, folks. Bad rolls. So. The DM is not taking any like leniency on me for rolls, so that's okay. It's a better way to play. It's a right way to play. If the DM rolls a nat 20, the DM rolls a nat 20, and the story goes as the story goes. And then you know what? If it's a good DM, they roll with that, and they integrate that into the storyline, because maybe the story goes, you know, you were supposed to win a fight, you don't win a fight, your colleagues and comrades have to go on a side quest to find a golden fleece or a potion of resurrection or a something, you know, which builds. I mean, unfortunately, it stinks because like you're out of the quest for that period of time, which is a bummer because nobody wants to be left out. But in fact, it's almost cooler because you can watch it transpire as like a, or even cooler, you get your teammates to, you know, or like you get like an NPC to cast some kind of like spell that allows you to be ethereal. Like you know, you've got 72 hours to you know finish this quest before the this potion wears off, and when the potion wears off, your spirit leaves the current plane, so you're able to be there in like essence, making decisions, helping the party, being a participant, but you can't participate because you have no terrestrial form. So you're going on the adventure to rescue yourself with your teammates, and the only thing you can do is flap your gums because that's all you are at that point in time. Like that'd be a cool D&D session. Um, yeah, but that just makes me think of like the failure of roles and how a good DM can kind of like integrate into the story like a catastrophic moment, because like obviously no DM, well, I'm sure there's one out there, wants to kill a character, like a main character, because that's counterproductive to the game. But it doesn't have to be counterproductive. It can be actually like integral to like a great storyline. Because like one of my we used to love. Oh, this is going way back, like super way back. But in high school, we were playing AD&D Second Edition, so Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Second Edition, because that's where we were at that period of time. So, um, one of the best modules, or one of the best expansions, was, in my opinion, Raven's Loft. Hey, we we are just on fire today. Um, I was fixated on Raven's Loft. I had purchased as much as I could, at our local Walden Books bookstore. May they rest in peace. Um, I would literally run to the back of the store on the right-hand side. There was a D&D section, and I would stand there for 45 minutes scanning, looking, drawing out by hardcover books and just looking. And one of our best sessions, my best friend at the time was furious with me. I had unfortunately, we only played. It was the two of us, so we never had like a big group except for we had one other friend that would join like intermediately, like not really. He was never really reliable, but that's fine. It was nothing intentional. It was nothing malicious. He just he was a busy person and couldn't always get over to the sleepovers. And the storyline was in a small town. We were, my buddy's character was just passing through. It just so happened that he needed a place to stay for the night, and this very, like, London's turn of the century, like 1800s style setting. Very Victorian, top hats, uh, carriages, like one or two carriages, because the town was not very big. Um, you know, Surly bar, um, bowler hats, shady characters off in the corners, and he had kind of come into town just to, you know, get refreshed and hello, um, squirrel. It's so easily distracted. Um, but yeah, he had come into town just to get refreshed, and it just turned out that the night that he was there, a very eerie fog rolled in, and there was a murder in the alleyway next to the inn that he was at, and it went into this very cool kind of Sherlocky Holmes style whodunit. And when the module was all said and done, he cursed me out because he's like, you know, I can't believe you did that. That's, why would you do this to the character? And I as a DM and as a player too, I played in Dragonlance because I was transfixed on being a character in the Dragonlance world. I loved being a DM of the Ravenloft world because every twisted thing I could think of, from Jekyll and Hyde to Frankenstein's monster to the mummy to anything like the creature from the Black Lagoon. I had so much. I had the world as my oyster for material to pull from, and all I had to do was change the names and change the settings just a little bit, and it was fresh and it was new and it was exciting and it was different, and he was not happy with me for like a week or two. And then after he kind of like digested it and like processed it, he's like, man, that module, dude, was the bomb. And it was like it was lightning in a bottle because I don't think any of them had gotten the same kind of like reaction or praise to them. But even thinking back on it now, I'm so, it was so good. It was so good. um, and it was, that's what I kind of think of when it comes to this kind of like opportunistic game, is that you just kind of like, you go your own way. um, Man, we are just having a good old time with like drops today. Chain boots, chain boots, chain boots. um, it starts with a T. Treads. Yeah. 30% faster walks. Yeah, we're gonna keep those because everybody likes to everybody likes to move faster. Who doesn't like to move faster?
I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
yeah, God, those are some good days. Those are just such joy to be able to be a part of like the AD&D world, making making your own stuff up, imagining, illustrating your own characters. My buddy was a gifted artist, still is, I think. Um, I don't think you ever kind of like, yeah. I don't think you ever really lose that ability. You may become rusty, but you still keeps most of that kind of talent. Um, you could give him any recommendation, like, hey, this is the setting that I see. Character's got his foot up on a rock and staring off into like the stoic distance. You know, what do you think? And he's just starts doodling, and then like suddenly like your image comes into fruition. So it's like very 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 talented. I always had to like draw from sight. I had to like take a picture that I saw and like change the armor and change the perspective of it because that was my quality of art. Um, I was well known for drawing Disney characters, and that was my that was my way to get girls back in high school. You wanna impress a girl? Give her a picture of like Ariel from The Little Mermaid, or when Beauty and the Beast came out, you give her a picture of you know Beast, getting hit by a snowball or something like that. Ah, good old days. Good days. But yeah, fond memories. All right, moving right along. Yep, I very much remember like AD&D being very, very important in my young years. A lot of fun, a lot of creativity. So like so different. And then we played Star Wars, the role-playing game. We played Robotech, the role-playing game. We played Rifts for a while,
I am overburdened.
and then we kind of shifted. We kind of you know we did a little bit of Magic the Gathering. That became a big popular thing because we were just on the cusp of 21. Some of us were 21, so some of us could get wine coolers because we were that cool. We were fancy. We were really fancy when we started the Rumpelmints and the Goldschlager. Then we thought we were top notch. Like that was top shelf for us. Um, Doing shots on a Friday night and dropping down cards and making what the heck were they called? They were like the shake and bake potato wedges. You'd take a bunch of russet potatoes, cut them up, put them in a bag of seasoning, throw them in the oven for 30 minutes, and you had those bites, and everybody was happy. So
I am overburdened.
those are the beginning days of the LAN wars where we would drag computers over to one another's houses, the towers, monitors, and all, when CRTs were like a gajillion and a half pounds. Um, we'd set up with a data cable, a serial cable, and we'd be playing like
I am overburdened.
Doom or Unreal or Duke Nukem versus each other. What a crazy time. So, and it was fun. It was so much fun because it kind of evolved the days of like the what the heck was it called? When you're playing multiplayer at home with like your Nintendo or your Sega or your even PlayStation to an extent. You're sitting in the same room. Oh, N64, GoldenEye. Oh my goodness. NWO, WCW Revenge for sure. Um, you'd be with one another. You'd be in proximity of another human being. You could trash talk right to them, and you would laugh about it. You wouldn't be like salty, or you wouldn't be like. I mean, maybe you were salty, but it was a lot less infuriating than like the keyboard warriors that are out there now that are protected by the distance and anonymity and whatnot. So, but it was fun because you learned how to get better. It was just that was the king. and I remember vividly, playing NWO WCW Revenge on the N64, and it was right at the hey orange text, love to see it. Um,
Overburdened.
right at the beginning of the belt era, where you could go onto eBay of all things, and you could buy quote unquote replica belts. Um, the leather was something else. It was pleather for sure, and they were like a 2x4. Like you could not bend them at all. They did not. They were not loose at all. But unfortunately, in my early 20s, I seemed to have a limitless credit card, and so we bought. Uh, correction, I bought the WCW tag team titles. I bought a world championship belt, and I really contemplated, did I buy a US belt? I might have bought a US belt too. Um, so that way, whenever, because we would do brackets, and we would literally, like, for the entire week, because Sunday nights were our night, because usually we worked at Blockbuster Video at the time. Um, yeah, really, really, really dinosaur. Um, so Sunday nights were our free night because we had all worked the entire week. We had Sunday off to get ready for Monday paperwork, and then Tuesday new release day, and then we usually had like Wednesday off unless it was inventory week, and then we had Thursday off instead. But whatever. So we'd spend all week kind of like getting our roster ready, like who are we going to pick if we had the opportunity to pick for our wrestling teams. And I remember one of my buddies was he would only pick Scott Hall, which God rest his soul, like phenomenal, phenomenal wrestler, phenomenal, and entertainer.
I am
And
overburdened.
he would pick him, and he had this ability to throw a person into the ropes, hit him, throw him into the ropes, hit him, and it was this awful, awful, endless loop until he finally either knocked you out or got you so weak that he would just pin you and you'd be done for. And I remember like hating that because I'd lose, and if I were to win a belt, I'd have to give up the belt because it's the protocol, and salty, like that was salty, but I learned through that experience and through tons and tons of getting smacked in the face by Scott Hall that if I picked Chris Benoit, also God rest his soul, um, uh, I would be able to avoid that like trickery. And I found out through much practice, with the German suplexes, I could turn the tides on Scott Hall. And the same idea, there was a reverse like slapjack or a reverse press that the character would do, and I would be able to knock out my opponent, and it was great. The only thing that was worse is one of my other buddies would always pick Chris Canyon, and he had a kick that would knock everybody out. So when you got kicked with that, you just see the character kind of like go limp and fall over. I'm like, So, you know, there were so many Sunday nights that we were sitting there just, trash talking. And of course, Sunday nights were also like, at the time, pay per view night. So 80, 97, 98, 99, 2000 kind of era. And we would come home, like, we'd it was KFC, and sometimes it was Subway, but it was mostly KFC. And we would get together before the pay per view. We'd do our wrestling for the most part with the N64, and then by the time the pay per view was over, if there was any matches to be finished up, we'd finish up the matches afterwards.
I am
And I mean,
overburdened.
that was another phenomenal time to live.
I can't
And
carry
again, we
anymore.
were all
I am
in.
overburdened.
It was all in person.
I
There
am
was nothing
overburdened.
remote about it. There was nothing. Um, you know, uh, you had uh, interaction of you had interaction with your friends. So cherish those moments. Those are super duper awesome. moments, and they evolve over time. Like obviously, you know, as you grow older, your interests change, your involvement changes, your um, passions change. You know,
I am
but yeah, it just seems like those were much more
I can't carry anymore.
innocent times, gratifying times. So yeah, but that was the same as like you know the these days when you're playing Diablo multiplayer, but you're playing Diablo multiplayer in the same room. So you could go and explore and do different things and be in different areas, and you could just request your buddy to be like, hey, you know, I found something for you. Do you want me to pick it up or do you want me to drop it off in town? What do you want me to do? So there was a lot more of that. It was a lot more interactive. It was a lot more personable. Oh, get back here. Recognition. Now it's so funny because all the Dungeons and Dragons stuff is online, or it's on audiobook or Audible, and you don't even need to, you know, sit down and read it anymore. You just let it fly on whatever
I
device you
can't
want.
carry anymore.
I know my iPhone is filled with it, so it's yeah. When I'm just
I am
drifting away or you know, kind of just
I can't
looking
handle
to
it.
be a disassociated with things, I'll put on you know one of the tales of you know either Dragonlance or Ravenloft or something like that, and just you know suddenly I'm there because reading would put me to sleep. Unfortunately, I don't know if it's common or if it's just me, but I can like if I want to cure insomnia, I rip open a book and like 5 pages in, like the book's ruined because I'm probably sleeping on it, and I'm out for like the duration. Whereas like audiobooks, it just my style of involvement or my style of interaction. I like to listen to things, so I get so much information that I can process. Oh, you could have switched that, but that's all right. I seem to just retain more information
I can't
through
carry anymore.
audio cues. So, yike. That's what you give me for a chest? Diablo.
I am overburdened.
You hurt me a little bit there, bud. Oof. This had been some rough type times here. Okay, we're out of here. Start over. What did we get? We got some orange text. No. Fat finger the keyboard there.
Not in town.
Not in town. Shush. Mike. just pay a little attention, would you? Just a smidge of attention. Okay. One. Just one. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Yeesh. Getting a little loopy there, folks. Okay. Nope. There's one. There's one, two, three. Okay. So I'm not totally delusional. I got it. I can. I was there, but I wasn't there. Ta-da! All right. Let's see if that completely botched me, and we're gonna get stuck in the middle of this for a timeout. Let's see what we got. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. there's that failed dice roll again. Horrible, 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 horrible. I wonder, do we spec one more into find potion, which will get me into 70% find item to lose the meme effect? Is it gonna really? Is the 1% gonna matter? 70% versus 69%. I know what the general populace is probably going to say is leave it as it is, just for the meme purposes alone.
I can't
But
carry
boy,
anymore.
oh boy, it's like. And again, does it matter? No, it doesn't. It's just meant to have fun.
I can't carry anymore. I am overburdened.
I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny that my rolls are denied, and that's mysteriously. Oh, the World Stone Keep. Yeesh. Okay. Yike. Uh. um. I think y'all saw what I did there. We're gonna go from the top to the bottom. We're gonna go World Stone Keep 1 to the Throne of Destruction. If I can find it. This will be fun. Like a drunk just going all over the place. Nope. So we gotta go the other way. Yep, there we go. Holy mackerel, now we're talking. Utter chaos. Holy mackerel, so many elites. Love it. Bring me all your goodies. Jeez Louise.
I can't carry anymore.
Yeah. I mean, there's no real, I don't know if 1% is going to make a difference. Oh, Jewel. Um,
I can't carry anymore.
it'll lose the funny factor, which, you know, I don't know if I can. Really? Did you, just lightning bolt me because I item find it in an area too long? Yike. You're mean. I thought you only did that if I stood still. What a jerk. Alright, Mr. Bale. I got your number. That's fine. Fine, fine, fine. I'll see you shortly.
I am overburdened.
Guess you don't want me finding any items. That's mean. Think of that as inconsiderate of you. But maybe that's the gig.
I am overburdened.
I'm not quite ready to go yet. I still want more experience. Oh, yes, please. I'll take that. Might as well take advantage of it all the way you can. So this is all straightforward and easy for me to take care of. It's not too strenuous. It's not like the glooms with their bajillion bolts of lightning that just tear me apart. So this is way, way more comfortable. So this might put us well into 91 uh, shortly. Not shortly, but maybe by tonight. We'll see. Hmm. Why do I keep getting... Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Yeah, but we'll keep that for something. I know it's probably not optimal. It's probably, too much strength requirements, or too much of this, or too much of that, but whatever. It, you know, it's something different. Something different.
I am overburdened.
I am overburdened. I wonder if Geeds can fall in terrorized zones because the Sunder Charms can. So therefore, it takes that spot, if that's even a thing. Not that it matters. Doesn't matter. It's just, again, thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. Because again, being on Geed's hiatus, it just seems like gem shrine, gem shrine, gem shrine. Hey, look at that. It just seems peculiar that
I can't carry
I've
anymore.
done all this work and there's not been a Geed's charm drop just out of happenstance. Can't even carry it. I got no room. Hello. I remember going through here and it was a orange flavor text. Not what I wanted.
I
Not
can't carry anymore.
Can't really pick
I
it up.
can't carry anymore.
I know, I know, I know. Oh no, yeah, I can. Sorry, thought I was overburdened for real. Ugh. Yeah, I remember going through here and it was absolutely painful. Like just, you're scratching and clawing for like every single inch you get, and you're just trying to make it down to the throne room, and uh, brutal. And even when you get there, you've got a trillion town portals set up because you know that you're gonna die in the throne room. It's gonna be another you've got to respawn, grab your body, get out, get some potions, so on and so forth. And oh, it's the whole thing. Oh, okay. Um, so nowadays, with to see how comfortable a character can like roll through here, And again, I'm not trying to skip anything. I'm not trying to teleport through anything. I'm just trying to mosey on through and get, you know, get through the mobs, because again, more mobs equals more opportunity for stuff. So, um, yep, really, really pleasurable, very fun, relaxing, enjoyable experience. So, don't feel like, you know, pressured. Don't feel like anxious or you know, uncomfortable. Just once in a while, you're gonna press the 2 or 3 button, because, you know, get a little, like, you know, dicey. But
I can't
it's
carry
not like
anymore.
before, where like every single thing could kill you like one shot, because your
I can't
resistances
carry
were so
anymore.
low, or, you know, your hit points were mediocre at best. So it's really interesting, again, how the theory crafting rolls, how much you really want to put into health. Like, I, you know, would
I
always
am
think that like
overburdened.
mana was like the big thing, but
I can't carry anymore.
with the barbarian, I thought it was always like, just, you know, you want as much strength as you can, because you want to do as much damage as you can. But the reality of it is, if you're not alive to do the damage, you don't do the damage. So the goal is to stay alive. Pretty sure the first time I went through here, I went through here with a shield, because I just thought shields were going to offer better protection. I didn't realize that the the block animation was a negative. So, silly enough, that probably got me killed a couple times. Good times. Just straightforward. We'll see how the throne room is. The throne room might be the challenge, which would be funny. Like, talking all this smack about, like, you know, oh, this is straightforward, this is a breeze, whatever, whatever, and then all of a sudden you get to the throne room and you're like, oh, I'm getting absolutely deleted. So, hopefully not the case. Wow, that's weird. Oh, my favorite. Of course. Of course.
I am overburdened.
Oof.
I can't carry anymore.
Alright. Not terrible. That was okay. Like the glooms. These things just are, yeah. What are they? Burning souls? Glooms, same thing. They are just, hurtful. They will delete your character. They delete my, they definitely delete my Amazon, because my Amazon has nowhere near this kind of health, so for sure hit points are where it's at. Man, even Fazell is doing good. That, I ended up putting fortitude on him. Not fortitude. Fortitude? What did you get? Yeah, fortitude. What a difference. What a big, big difference. Never, not that he's indestructible now, but he's way better, way tankier than he was. So thankful for that, because every little bit of help, every little bit helps. There we go. Once again, I know English. I know English.
I am overburdened. I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore.
Really interesting. That's interesting. You can't item find them. Maybe. Mm, nothing more fun than the super poison. We'll see if that absolutely crushes me. We're going to hijack this because we can. Okay. So you can item find some of the stuff. So, not that it really matters, because like this stuff I don't really worry about item finding, but why not? When you get the chance. Again, every chance for, something else to fall. Oh, you really don't get a lot, because
I can't carry anymore.
there's a lot fewer. Yeah, there's a lot fewer. Hey, guys. Man, go, Frizzell. You're not dead. Good man. No, I might be. Alright. And that is the throne room. That was straightforward.
I can't carry anymore.
No, can't item find anything?
I can't carry anymore.
So weird. So weird. Alright, is there an antidote potion here somewhere? Maybe. I'm missing it. Nah, no. No. No, 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 no. We'll just wait for this to wear off. Or I could go and use the town portal. I don't know. Eh, who cares? Impatient as always. Let's see. Which is the way to do this? Yeah, it seems like Whirly Barb is the way to go. Just more hits than Berserker. Better chance to hit, I wonder? Yep. Ugh. Dear goodness gracious, what is that? That is not good. Not good. Okay. Not bad. No reason to have the town portal. Just there in case. So, we're going back to it. We'll find a place for that armor. I can't believe my inventory's full again. Holy cow. That's just the name of the game. No, stop that. Stop that. Oh boy. Boy. 431. Um, 170 for strength. Ugh. 140 for strength. Not bad. I don't know. I never know which way to go. I don't know what the proper. I don't know what's proper. Can't really do much here because those silly little Annies are all stuck up there. Yeah, we'll go over here. There we go. Look at that. The power of Tetris. Then we can also do that. Nope, that's perfect. Okay, that's that. That's that. Yeah, we'll go keep all that. And that's it. Okay. Now, do we do that again? You know what? All right. Instead of trying to find it, we'll just go this way. Oh, yeah. My favorite. My favorite. Yeah, just, do we want experience? Do we want to item find? What do we want to do? Really, we just want to experience. Experience is most important, so we're only going to item find the packs. Go through here. Let's go. Ugh. Let's go. Oh, you guys are brutal. It's okay. Frizzell, you made it, dude. I am so proud of you. Thanks for not picking my pockets and taking another 50K out of my retirement fund. Ooh. Place your bets, kids. What is this going to be? Hot garbage? Skiller charm? Hot garbage. It's okay. As long as you always set yourself up for, like, low expectations, you're never let down. You set the bar low. And then when it's something good, you're like, hey, that's awesome. That's awesome. That way you can never be disappointed. You can be, but... it's gonna happen. Oh, my goodness. It's a party in here for sure. God. No, Frez. Stop it. Don't go. Stay away from the light. Or the lightning. That makes more sense. Stay away from the lightning. Oh. Sure. You can give me those all day. You almost never see those anymore. You guys have got to stop. Nobody likes you. You are not on anybody's friends list. You are not on a top 8. Tom didn't even put you on his friends list from MySpace. So, hoo-wee. Holy moly. Oh, there are them failed rolls again. Out of morbid curiosity, we'll just take that.
I can't carry anymore.
Your character walks into a bar. Roll. Your character breaks his hip on the bar.
I can't carry anymore.
Your character gets sepsis because of the infection of bumping his hip on the bar. Here's a new character sheet. I mean, here's one of the things that I've never done, and I think I would just lose my mind. I've never played this game in hardcore. I tried to play Warcraft in hardcore. Oh my gosh. There are 70 or 80 Tataraks that made it to level 15, 17. I don't think I ever made it to 20. I never made it to... I dishonored my Tatarak. It was so unbelievable.
I can't carry
So tough. And I was cocky. I was like, oh, I'm pretty good at this game. Da 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 da. Oh, no, I'm not. No, I am not. But it didn't matter. I enjoyed the living heck out of it. I played my heart out, mentally thinking I was good. When in reality, when you look at the leaderboards, nope, 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 nope. I had the general principle down pat. That's orange flavor text. We're starting to go back into the rhythm. We're starting to fall back into what I'm familiar with. Rune gods, be nice to me. Oh no, Frez. Oh no, me. Oi, oi. Yike. All right, let's little less talky, a little more pay attention-y. Good gracious. Um, yeah, Tatarok, unfortunately, in World of Warcraft, not
Can't carry anymore.
great. I think I had one time in Blackwing Lair where I somehow hit all the right keys. Um, my Molten Core was
I am
something
overburdened.
atrocious.
I am
And then,
overburdened.
unfortunately, because I was obsessed with Taurens and I never picked the orc like I was supposed to, my Encourage 40 man was not good because I didn't get the bonus for the axes, which I should have. I should have known better. I should have played by the rules. I should have played a um, orc just so that way I could be in the cool group. But no, I wanted to be original as always. But I mean, I always look the best in might and wrath armor because I was the tallest bull in round, so everything looked more opposing. And I did get the shoulders from PvP, so I was at least a happy camper about that. I was proud to have stuck to it because, again, I am just a bulldozer in any game that I play. I just want to just put it in first gear and push through everything. Um, so there were more elegant players that seemed to be a little bit more finesse when playing their character, and you know, I wish I could be them. I tried to be them, but for some reason, it's just you know, charge, sunder, um, rend, and wait for execute, and then just bash the execute button until you know something happens. Either I'm in the graveyard respawning, or the other character is not in my way anymore. And oh, thank you for that. We are back on track. We are doing beautifully. Um, and that's how I play all my games. It's just it's it's what it is. I guess the same idea. If speed running was a matter of like brute force,
I am
I
overburdened.
probably would be the world's best speedrunner because I would just locomotive straight on through and not anything. But since I love picking up everything and I love, just immersing myself into everything, it's like, yeah, I'm not really built for that. Okay, should have paid attention. Ew, what are you? Get out of here. Um, because I love watching speedrunners. It's a marvelous. Um, you know, just the decision making, the quantifying. Oh, chef's kiss. If anybody's watching this other than myself, it's probably like, what in the world is he doing? But this is the freight train. This is the oh boy. This is my 18 wheeler. I just want to barrel forward and do my thing. And it's fun. It's fun. It's dead. That hurt. That hurt. Okay. Well, Frez, you're back. You can join me in trying to get our body back because this is going to be something.
Yes, warrior.
You got it. Thank you. Moving right along. Foot loose and fancy free. Getting there is half the fun. Come join it with me. Bet it, bet it. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's not a bad idea, right? I got one. Okay. I saw myself getting low, and I had that potion ready to go, and I was just in the animation for Whirlwind, and nothing. Okay. Sorry, Faz. You're cannon fodder. Literally. Alright, not bad. We're just gonna... Thank you. Ugh. And we're back. And then we make it look easy, because I don't know why. We make it look easy. Okay. Hilarious. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody. See you later. Adios. Bye, 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 bye. Yeah, just need a little break there, apparently. Come on, Faz. You got it. Don't succumb to the damage. Run for me. Yeah, wow. We are really getting our stuff. Okay. Let's do a little bit of this action. To whatever's left. Okay. Not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad. That hurt a lot. Okay. Yeah. Let's top off. So yeah, hardcore mode would probably make me cry in this game because it would be one of those phenomenon where, like, you know, just starting over, because, I mean, it would probably, let's not lie. I was going to say it would probably teach me to be more cautious, but yeah, I know better. I know myself better. Like, you know, there'd be like a computer out in the front yard as it soared through the window. So, um, I would have no recollection of throwing it out the window, but it would mysteriously just end up there, and I'd be like, huh, wonder how that happened. So, you know, I kind of know how it would happen because I'd have a giant hole in my window, or the screen would be torn. So I'd have some, there would be some evidence to how that transpired. So. I'm sure you are. More failed rolls. Oh boy. So interesting. And, you know, again, I guess, you know, same idea. Like, in Hero Editor, you can sit there and build the character differently. You can distribute points differently. I could get some of those trophies to get the reset buttons, but it's like, you know, same idea. They're super hard to get a hold of because not every single time do they drop. I just killed Bale, you know, and of course it didn't drop then. So it's like, do you want those reset tokens? You can trade for them. We all know my feelings on trading. I'm not really hot on it. So it's one of those phenomenon where, you know, in single player you have the luxury to kind of like do sandboxy, experimental type of builds. That way you can put into function on Battle.net like the way you want to play and see how it all comes together. Man, another fail. So it's, you know, see how the maximum magic or item, excuse me, item find, if it really makes that significant amount of difference, or if you can put those, if you want to distribute those points elsewhere. Interesting, interesting, interesting. There we go. There we go. Okay, and like that was a complete success. So like that was 3 for 3. So zero dissatisfaction or argument there. That was a beautiful thing. Holy mackerel. Yike. Oh. And Stygian dolls. Yike. Youch. Okay. This is where sadness happens.
I am overburdened.
No, you are not. The Stygian dolls, I have no idea how to, like, accurately deal with them, because they just wreck me. So usually what I do is let, you know, my mercenary go first and do all the tanking, because it's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because I will get put down immediately with them. Just delete, delete, delete. Yep, nope, sorry. I'm a big old coward. Why did this chicken cross the road? Because his experience points are way too valuable, and he didn't want to lose them.
I am overburdened.
And there we go. And that was wonderful. There we go. Okay. Hey, gang. What's up? What's up? What's happening? How we doing? And winner, chicken dinner. Ta-da! Cyclone attack. Kind of wonder if the barbarian's ever gotten like seasick from spinning. Just ends up like thrown up on his, like, you know, opponents, and that's one of the attacks. Oh, stop it. Like, he had too much mead one night, and he's just going through and just, like, whirlwinding, and he's like, oh, boy. Just not good. That would be a nat 1. That would be an unsuccessful attack roll, and, you know, maybe a nat 20 right after, and the creature slips on it and breaks its own back. So, perfect. Problem solved. Everything's relatable to Dungeons and Dragons. Oh, what's up with that? Why are you stone skinned and immune to physical? Oh, bye-bye. Really? Not a single body to item? You stingy. Stingy. Okay. So what did we determine? We determined that that's not the right key binding. Did we determine... Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. Holy smokes. Way better. If only I had Magic Find. I'd be doing no damage, but I'd have Magic Find. So that's always, it's such a trade-off, which is a good trade-off because it makes complete sense that, you know, if you want the best items in the game, you'd have to take a sacrifice in damage. But if you want to, oh, yep, let's go. Come on, Deckard, show me something good. Show me something. No. No. Nope. Alright, well, thanks, Deckard, for absolutely nothing. Once again, appreciate your ability to identify items. Sometimes questionable. Sometimes I wonder if you're not hitting the mead before you're taking a look at our stuff. But it's okay. Alright. We're running out of space, people. We gotta take a... Gonna have to take a break for a second and rearrange some things. Never a fun thing to do, but otherwise, I'm gonna be out of space, and nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to be like, oh, he can't pick up anything. That's great. Why are we here? You're here for the jokes and the good times. Let's not kid each other. I don't know what the jokes are, but the good times.
I can't carry anymore.
You can carry plenty, Mr. Barbarian. Look at those shoulders. We might be able to hit 91 tonight. It so depends on if we make those boo-boos again. But, and how much I can sit here. Always a matter of how much can I sit here.
I am overburdened. I am overburdened.
So, Diablo spirits of ancients. I am Mumra. No, I'm not. But I would like to request orange text box, level 25 or higher, please. Preferably level 45 or higher, but hey, like, again, try not to be greedy, try not to be inconsiderate, just throwing it out there into the universe. See what happens. Okay, alright, we'll take that. That's always potential. I like those as a precursor. Those are like a nice appetizer to my rune drops. So sprinkle some smaller grand charms in there. Maybe some unique grand charms. I'll even figure out how to get Geeds out of here and teleport back and drop mine off and teleport back, and you know, nothing like super redundant, but I'll do it. I'm not above it. I'm not below it. I'm all about it. So if you tell me I can't pick it up, I'm gonna be a happy guy. Happy guy. Now, are we done with level 1? Are we going to keep on trucking in level 1? We're going to keep on trucking, because I don't know why. We're just going to keep on trucking. Mr. Mike has a good feeling of this.
I am overburdened.
And by good feeling, it just means, I don't know. My spider senses are tingling. Oh, Jesus. Okay, well, that's the... And we're done with level 1. So maybe my spider sense was, like, defective, or the tingling was just like a, you know, a nervous twitch. Okay. Really? You spin that short, like you just like stopped in front of him. You're like, I can't do it. I'm out of breath. Like you were so close to killing the guy or just finishing him off, and you just stopped short. So. Alrighty. We will take that for sure. Thank you. Who is this guy just bopping around? Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? Who dat? Alright. Mm-hmm. 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 All right. Party time. Maybe. Yeah, it's all good. Sure you can. Just try harder.
I can't carry anymore. I can't carry anymore.
Oh, man. Merry Christmas. We'll take it. Again, it's just about quantity. Like, it's almost like by default. Like, you know, you're like some things gotta roll in your favor by just happen chance. So it's it's not gonna always happen for sure, because then you're just being unrealistic. But it's if the goal is to get a skill charm, you get 1,000 grand charms, and something's got to roll. It may not be the right one, like it may be for a sorceress or a paladin or a different class, but you got it. So, and then the next one could be for a different class, so on and so forth. So it's just volume, 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 volume. So. And most of them are valuable. Like most of them are worth something. So you can hang on to it and put it on the character that you're building next, or not building next, building 10 characters down the road. But it's there for you. It's only going to be useful. It's going to be something you can utilize. So yeah. Holy moly. Uh, much better. Much, much better. Still failed the item find. Barbarian didn't have his coffee this morning. He's like, I ain't singing. That ain't gonna happen. Sorry, Chief. It's like, dude, you got one job. You got one job. Find an item. Or items, plural. Sorry, my guy. Mandatory break. No item finding between the hours of X and Y. Union rules. Holy cow. Oh, we made it. That was pretty good. That was not too bad. Wee. Nothing, huh? Nothing. Okay. Man. Laugh it up, fuzzball. Oh, wait, that's somebody else. Never mind.
I can't carry anymore.
All right. See?
I am
What's
overburdened.
better than that?
I can't carry anymore. Thanks.
You got it, buddy. Oh, boy. All right. All right.
I am overburdened.
What's up, Lister? What do you got there, buddy? And adios, compadre. Not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad. What do we got going on here, folks? One of these, one of these. Game on. Whoa. Holy mackerel. You are just everywhere today. Maybe you had the coffee my barbarian was supposed to have for the item find. For singing. Stop it. You are just super hyper bail. Do you need something to relax? You need something to just calm down? Maybe you need a hug? Okay. Ew. Axes? Nope. Spear. Alright. Alright, alright, alright. Let's see what those charms are. We got charmy charms to get ID'd. What does the survey say, folks?
Good day.
Alright, Deckard. Did you have your mead this morning? Did you get me something good? The fire resist isn't bad. That's terrible. And, oh, that's terrible too. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and park this, over here. Alright, let's go to the main stage. Oh yeah, bring it everybody. Show me the destruction.
I can't carry anymore.
Sure you can. You'll figure it out. Ugh, glooms. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nice.
I am overburdened.
I get it, dude. I get it. I hear you. It's tough. It's tough.
I am overburdened. I can't carry anymore. I
Okay.
can't carry anymore.
Okay. All right. All right. Moving on. Sorry. Sorry to burden you. All right. Orange text box. Oh no. Seriously? That was fast. That doesn't feel like it was an hour. Oh boy. This might hurt. That's gonna hurt. Yeah. Okay. Oh, Jewel. Hey, we got one. Not anything good, but we got one.
I can't carry anymore.
Okay. Hopefully it's a kind of crummy terror zone. That way I can get some lunch and relax and not sit here like a hermit. Or maybe a hermit, regardless. It's alright. I'm enjoying it. I just want to get another rune somewhere because I feel like my rune timer is about to pop. It's going to be like an ort or a tier because we were doing so good before that it's only appropriate that it's going to kind of like go backwards on me. It's like, oh yeah, you got some high runes in there, kiddo. Guess what? Boom, here's an L. Or an Eld. Just what I wanted. Thanks, Diablo. You're the greatest. I really appreciate it. It's like when you get handed a pencil without an eraser. It's like, awesome. This would be so much more useful if it had an eraser. But I'll just, use the pencil part and have to ask a classmate for an eraser. And they look like I'm, got 15 heads. Yeah, buddy. All right, we're gonna get through this. We're gonna get one more bail. Let's stop getting distracted by items. I know we're looking for orange text boxes, but let's let's not get off track. We're here for the party. We're here until the sun goes down. Actually, it is a glorious day here in New England, so there's no complaints whatsoever. I got the window open, there's a nice breeze. It smells like spring is here. There's actually like grass being cut. And, it's phenomenal. Fantastic. Oh, how do you do? I know it's not good, but it always distracts me. It's always interesting. It's such a fascinating thing that they chose to make the rune words the dominant um, item in the game. Like that, you're going to get the most bang for your buck out of crafted material, and it makes sense because it's you've got to work for it, you've got to find them, you've got to trade for them. They are of tremendous value. Um, but it's like it's so amazing watching like the tier lists and seeing how they break down um, one item versus another and where they stand on like the S tier versus A tier versus B tier and seeing how like there are certain inalienable or individual items that are so out of this world useful that they're synonymous with success. Like to be the best, you need to use this crafted weapon versus found weapon. because um, you know, not everybody has like really good luck. Like I've gone half an hour, 45 minutes without a rune, probably, if I were to go back and look and check. Um, some people only have that much time to play the game. So, oh no. Okay. Well, we're here. We're gonna finish it. It's fine. But yeah, like I mean, if you're playing for half an hour and that's your allotted amount of time to play, which half an hour is great. Half an hour is a fantastic amount of time. Any amount of time that you get to yourself to be able to enjoy some like quality gaming time or you know whatever console time, any of those, you know, let it rip. Enjoy the heck out of it. But it's like you don't have enough time to get like a room. So what are you gonna do? Like you're oh Faz, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was jabbering again. You took a dirt nap. Um, as a gamer, I would probably be really bummed out. Like I'd be frustrated because it's like I want that half an hour to be a productive half an hour. Like I want to accomplish something. I want to acquire something. I want to level up. I want to whatever. And if I don't, it's gonna get you're gonna get dissuaded. You're gonna get unmotivated because it's it, why are you playing the game if it's leaving you wanting. Um, it's okay. You know, unfortunately, the same can be said about going to your local casino, and it's you're hoping for something, it doesn't deliver, and you get that gross feeling in your stomach, like, oh, I could have just gone to Five Guys, Burger Shack, and gotten something to eat versus spending that money. It really wasn't that rewarding, so the juice isn't really worth the squeeze type of thing. Um, but yeah, interesting. Um, but yeah, it's I can feel empathy for the individuals that are trying to play this game and that are looking to be as um, you know potent as they can be with the build of their character because they want their favorite character to be something. And if you're only relying on rune words to be your solution, you're kind of pigeonholing yourself into a very like tightly niched corner. Yeah, you could still do. Wow, that's take a screenshot of that drop for the records, shall you? Oh, oof. I don't know what to say about that. Um, no, I don't have to scroll it down for it all. Okay. Um, if you're limited and you don't have the ability to get the runes online because they don't drop for you and you're just it's not punching your ticket, then you're gonna just move on because you're gonna move on, and that's such a bummer. Minimum damage, poison resistance, poison length. Woof, 8% better chance of magic. Tooth row sawtooth armor. 40% chance of open wounds, enhanced defense, strength, fire resistance. Man, that 40% chance of open wounds though. Interesting. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to keep that or if I'm going to get rid of that, but. And what we say? It was City of the Damned and a River of Flames. Well, that's enough for me. I'm going to take a break. Have a great time. Hope you're doing great. Remember, this game is for fun. Don't obsess. Don't put yourself in any type of stress. You're supposed to be enjoying it. You're supposed to be doing it for fun. Have a great time. Enjoy yourself, and I'll see you in the future, or in the past, or in I don't know where we're going to see you. Have a good one.